It's time for the mid-year book freakout tag. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal and this is Books Forever After, where I sit on the floor and we talk about everything and all things books. Alright, so we are talking about the mid-year book freakout tag, and I am so excited to do this tag. I have been looking forward to doing this tag ever since I've seen watching YouTube or BookTube for a few years. It's all the time around this year. Booktubers are doing this tag and talking about their progress for the year, and I don't know, I really enjoy watching these videos and really excited to do this video myself. Alright, so let's just get started. Question number 1. Best book you've read so far this year? Counting, looking back, I have 16 5-star reads so far. The first one I read, I started reading From Blood and Ash, and book 2 of that series, Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I just love that one. A historical romance that has been my favorite so far, which is really hard right now, is The Day of the Duchess by Sarah McLean. That's a second chance marriage and trouble romance. So emotional and angsty, really love it. And the third one would have to be, of course, which is really hyped right now, is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I mean, dragons, new adult. It really feels like YA, like young adult fantasy, but with spice. And I really enjoy it. Alright, so the next question is best sequel you've read so far. So I'm going to try not to answer the same book for each question. So this one I will have to say is Any Duchess Will Do by Tessa Dare. I think that's between that one and I forget what the other one is, Colin and Minerva's book. I really love that. I read Tessa Dare's, I think it's called the Wallflower series. I forget what it is, but a couple of years ago. But I started reading her Avon published ones as part of the Summer of Tessa Dare read along that's being hosted by Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sing, Ava from Ava Romance Read, Books with Samantha, and Tiff Talks Pages. I believe that's what her username is here on YouTube. So that has been really fun, and so far those have been my most favorite, but really Any Duchess Will Do, it has been really right up there. It's emotional, it's hijinks and banter, and it's kind of a My Fair Lady twist, so I've really enjoyed that. Number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but want to. I'm really haven't been keeping up with new releases because I feel like since I started reading a lot more, I'm trying to get more on backlist, unless it's like an author I'm familiar with or really love. But I would have to say it just released, I want to say a few weeks ago, but it's Keep Her Safe by QB Tyler. I've been finding that I don't like contemporary romances as much anymore. I'm really getting back into my era of historical romance and fantasy romance, paranormal, that kind of stuff. But QB Tyler and Sarah Kate, I always know I will enjoy their books. And I did have on here, but I'm actually currently reading it, is A Ship of Bones and Teeth by Karina Halley. She's a new to me author, so I'm actually halfway through that book right now. I made these questions up a couple of weeks ago, or a few days ago, so yeah. But I'm really enjoying it, and she's an author that I've been wanting to read. I also have been wanting to read Krista Broadbent. I know her, I think it's book 2, I believe. I'll put the book image up here. I believe that released this year, so I'm looking forward to reading that one as well, because I never read anything by that author either. Okay, so number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year? Definitely is going to be Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. That's book 2 of the Fourth Wing book. I think it's actually, the series is called the Empyrean series. And that is going to be releasing November 7th. So I definitely want to get a physical copy of that. And then contemporary, I do have Madam by Sarah Kate. That's releasing October 12th. I am on her ARC team, so I'm really excited to read that. And I actually think she's having a different series. So Madam's going to be the last one in the Salacious Players Club series. But her release that's actually coming up next month in July is going to be, it's called The Anti-Hero. So it's a totally new series that I'm looking forward to reading there. And then for fantasy, another fantasy one would be Gold by Raven Kennedy, the final book in the Guild series. I think that's what it's called, Guild series. But that's releasing December 7th, so I probably won't ever read that until January, to be honest. So, but yeah. So looking forward to those books. Really am. Number 5, biggest disappointment. It's a toss-up because I've been noticing the contemporary romances have been very disappointing lately. But the one like modern or like urban fantasy that had really let me down was The Dark King by Gina L. Maxwell. This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I think why I was so disappointed was I saw that at Target for Valentine's Day gift, and I immediately started reading that, but then I was just so disappointed by it. It was okay, but it was, to me, I believe it was just trying too hard to be like 50 Shades and Indian Gods by Katie Roberts. So it really, I put on the blurb and then it felt like it was really trying too hard. So I know there's a book 2 coming out soon, and I'm not interested at all in continuing that series. Number 6, biggest surprise. I'm gonna have to say Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, only because of the hype. And this is why I think sometimes setting your expectations a little low kind of works in your favor. I know this is kind of like a hit or miss, it seems, with all the hype. Either people really love it or people just do not care for it at all. And I think what comes down to it with the hype, in my opinion, is that it depends on what you're interested in. If you think it's something you're going to be interested in and then you're aware of what you're getting into, a lot of people are, I guess, talking about it not having the greatest what they're expecting, or isn't as like high fantasy evolved, and I'm like, well, it is new adult. So to me, that's the best combination in fantasy. Now in contemporary, I'm not the greatest fan of new adult, but in fantasy it seems to work for me because it gives me the feeling of a YA fantasy with, romance, but instead of being closed door, it's spice. So I actually really, really enjoyed it. The beginning was a little weird and slow, and there was some interesting, like the parapet scene was a little interesting to be introducing the world in that form, or the whole world building and history of that world. So that was a very interesting introduction, but other than that, I really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Here, number 7, favorite new authors. First one this year would definitely be Jennifer L. Armentrout. Sarah McLean. This is this year is my first time reading historical romances by Sarah McLean. Typically I've read like the OG authors years ago for historical romance, so that's what I've been really enjoying, is delving back into historical romance and discovering authors that I never read from before. Okay, so don't remember where I left off, but oh yes, favorite new authors. Sarah McLean, Kate Bateman. I started reading that series. I'll put a picture of the ones that I remember from reading there. And then of course Tessa Dare. And I like to honorable mention Rebecca Yarros. Fourth Wing is the only book I've read by her, so I feel like I would need to read at least 2 or 3 books by an author to really get a feeling for them and if they're actually like a favorite. Sorry. The family's interrupting, sorry. Interrupting these questions. Alrighty, so the next one is newest fictional crush. I'm guessing like book boyfriend. I would say Hawk from Blood and Ash. I don't want to say anything else about that series because I think that would give it like a spoiler. Colin from A Week to Be Wicked by Tessa Dare. That was part of the summer of Tessa Dare read along, so I really enjoyed it and was a fan of them. Next one is newest favorite character. I would have to say, alright, there you go. So newest favorite character, I would have to say Serafina in Day of the Duchess. I just really was, I think, really connected with her character, and especially like, it's just probably a spoiler, but just the trauma or trial that she kind of went through, as to like the reason why her and her husband like separated and things like that. So it was kind of like maybe tear a little bit. Okay. Book that made you cry. I don't think I've actually cried by reading a book. I guess I just have a cold, dark heart. I don't know. But I would say I've had a little sparkle or tear in my eye, I guess you could say, this year so far by reading The Day of the Duchess by Sarah McLean and Any Duchess Will Do by Tessa Dare. That was, again, it's always with the kids, isn't it? The male character in that one and Any Duchess Will Do, like his backstory, was really touching. But besides that, I don't know, I don't know, I guess I'm a robot, I don't know. We'll see. But I do love, which is ironic because, maybe that's why I don't have any emotions, I don't know. I do love emotional and angsty books, so I really think I really do love those kind of books. So I haven't met one yet, so, and usually it's because even though they're emotional and angsty, I don't like books that make me sad. Because you're reading to get away from reality. Not wanting to read about reality. But in a way that's fun. I don't know. Horrible explanation. Oh my goodness. Books that made me happy. I'm finding this year that anything by Tessa Dare just gives me that giddy feeling and just a little like hee hee hee, like I feel like a little kid. So it's like so much fun and laughing out loud. Oh gosh, I think, and Sarah McLean and Kate Bateman have done that too as well, reading their books. But like historical romances in general, I feel like they're just, especially the lighter ones, they just feel more fun. I don't know, and more hopeful, I guess. But I love fantasy because of the whole world building and, you know, reaching into the dark side and that kind of stuff. I don't know, I'm getting off on a tangent, but yeah, historical romances, I feel like they're just happy, and especially anything by Tessa Dare I've been finding. So always a good, I always know I won't be let down, that's for sure, so far that I've read, knock on wood. Number 12. Most beautiful book you've bought this year. Okay, let me go grab it. Okay, so most beautiful book. If we're talking about sprayed edges, I only have one copy of the book, which really, this is really genius marketing for the Red Tower books imprint. I think it's an imprint of oh gosh, the new imprint Red Tower books. I can't remember who the main publisher is, but the Fourth Wing thing. This was just ingenious, and like knowing it's really hard to find now, but I was able, very luckily, on my birthday, find this at my local Walmart, and I'm like, it was the last one on the shelf, so I'm like, I don't know how I got lucky, but I am so glad and so thankful that I did. It's just really, really cool. I never had a book with sprayed edges, and I just don't see myself buying a book from a book box, or like, I don't know, just that's a lot of money. $145 for these kind of books when the story is what you're in there for. But just for me personally, I don't know if I could do that. I'd rather just get more books. It's just me. But yeah, I mean, it was great. I was able to get this for like $20, so I was really, really lucky. So yeah, I love that. Another one was really, really pretty, and how I read the first one, no, and this is like the prequel, but I just think this one is gorgeous. Like that is just really cool. That's a lot of detail, and I'm a sucker for that. And it's bright and colorful. I love it. It's got a dragon on the front too, so want to read this. Never read this author, but yeah, it's gorgeous. And then I'd have to say, I think this is one of my first books by this author, because I typically, buying indie books online, they're a little more pricey because they're indie books or self-published books. But I have to say, all these covers by Sarah Kate for the Salacious Players Club, beautiful man on the cover. Just all of them are beautiful. So I love all the covers. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Madam looks like. So yeah. So those are the only ones I think I have the most beautiful covers, but we'll see. And those ones I all bought this year, so there we go. What books do you really need to read before the end of the year? Well, I've only read the first 3 from Blood and Ash series. I want to read the first one of the Sister series. I heard that's the best reading order recommended by the author. And then I want to read the 4th one from Blood and Ash. At least get caught up for those ones. So I need to read those 2. The Crave series by Tracy Wolff. I'm actually just started Crave this week, so getting there on that. I believe the 6th book is just releasing in July. So did I buy all the books without reading the series? Yes, I did. But but do I like it? Yes. So I got lucky there. Which I knew it, like, I think the cover really, really intrigued me, because it looks kind of like a kitschy Twilight knockoff, which, I mean, I love Twilight, so millennial here. But it's actually really good so far, and it's not really like Twilight at all, so, which I love. So I'm only about 40% in on Crave, but I'm really, really enjoying it, and I really, really want to finish the rest of the series by the end of the year. And then of course, it's not romance at all, but it is fantasy, is Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. This, I have heard, is basically like Harry Potter, but it's not really Harry Potter, but the premise, if the Dark Lord, instead of Harry Potter defeating the Dark Lord, what if the Dark Lord won? So it's such a very interesting premise, and I heard that's a really great way to introduce yourself to Brandon Sanderson, because I really want to read more of his. I do actually have like his YA sci-fi adult series here. I don't have the 3rd one yet. And then I do have a couple of his other ones. So before I delve into his more involved series in the Cosmere, I really I want to start with the Mistborn trilogy, and that's where a lot of people recommend. And so I might start reading the Skyward series trilogy. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, really looking forward to that as well. And favorite book to movie adaptation. I did watch season 2 of Shadow and Bone. I thought that was really good. And then it's not necessarily, and I think I've heard a few other people mention this as well, as one of their favorite adaptations is Queen Charlotte, which this is kind of where it's a spin-off of Bridgerton, but in this aspect, Queen Charlotte came first, and then the book from Julia Quinn is coming off from that. So I've really loved it. That final episode, just so sweet. I see not in books, but TV shows like that, that makes me like shed a tear. So I haven't found a book yet, but TV shows definitely, or movies. All right, so that is all the questions. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like. Let me know down below in the comments what has been the best book that you've read this year. I'm always looking for recommendations, so definitely. Yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you would like. And if you want to follow me on Instagram and Goodreads, I have those links down below, as well as my Amazon wishlist. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.